Life is a grand adventure, filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. But here's the truth that will set your spirit soaring. God will make a way for you. This isn't just a comforting phrase. It's a powerful reality that can transform your life from the inside out. Think about it for a moment. You're here right now reading these words. That's not by chance. You've made it through every single challenge life has thrown your way up until this very second. And you know what? You're going to keep on making it because there's a force greater than yourself working on your behalf. Now, I'm not talking about sitting back and waiting for miracles to happen. No, that's not how it works. God makes a way, but we've got to be willing to walk that path. It's about partnership, about co-creating your destiny with the Almighty. You see, when we say God will make a way, we're tapping into a wellspring of hope. Hope isn't some flimsy, wishy-washy feeling. It's the bedrock of human resilience. It's what keeps us going when logic says we should quit. And let me tell you, friends, hope combined with action is an unstoppable force. Let's break this down. What does it really mean when we say God will make a way? It means that no matter how dark the night, dawn will come. It means that even when you can't see the path forward, there is one. It means that you're never truly stuck, never truly alone, and never without options. But here's the kicker. God's way often doesn't look like what we expect. We humans, we love our plans, we map out our lives, our careers, our relationships. And that's good. Planning is important. But we've got to hold those plans loosely. Because sometimes the best things in life come from the unexpected detours. Some of the greatest success stories, you know. How many of those people ended up exactly where they thought they would? Not many, I'd wager. That's because success isn't a straight line. It's a winding road full of surprises. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but you don't know my situation. You don't know how tough things are for me, and you're right, I don't. But I do know this, like tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you, my friend, are tougher than you think. Remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to take that first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. Faith for a moment. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that there are answers, even when we can't see them yet. It's about believing in the unseen potential within yourself and in the world around you. You've got a unique set of talents, experiences, and perspectives. Nobody else in the world is quite like you, and that's not an accident. You were created for a purpose. Your life has meaning whether you feel it right now or not. Now, I'm not saying life is always going to be easy. Far from it. Life can be hard, really hard sometimes. But here's the thing. Diamonds are formed under pressure. The most beautiful pearls come from oysters that have been irritated by a grain of sand. Sometimes, the very challenges that seem to be breaking us are actually making us. God's way often involves growth, and growth can be uncomfortable. It might mean stepping out of your comfort zone. It might mean facing fears you've been running from for years. It might mean forgiving someone who doesn't deserve it, or forgiving yourself for past mistakes. But here's the beautiful part. Every time you face a challenge, every time you overcome an obstacle, you're getting stronger. You're becoming more of who you were meant to be. You're aligning yourself with your purpose. Water for a moment. When water meets an obstacle, it doesn't just stop. It finds a way around, or over, or through. Be like water. Be flexible, be persistent, and keep moving forward. It's patience. In our fast-paced world, we want everything instantly. Fast food, fast internet, fast results. But some of the best things in life take time. A mighty oak doesn't sprout overnight. It grows slowly, steadily, weathering storms and droughts, until one day it stands tall and strong. Your journey is like that oak. Every day you're growing, even if you can't see it. Every experience, good or bad, is shaping you. Trust the process. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Here's a powerful truth. Your current situation is not your final destination. Where you are now is just a stepping stone to where you're going. So don't get discouraged if things aren't perfect right now. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Keep moving forward. You know, sometimes we get so focused on our problems that we forget to look for solutions. We forget to look for the opportunities hidden within our challenges. But they're there if we have the eyes to see them. Sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually a setup for a comeback. God's way often involves using the unlikeliest of people to do the most amazing things. Think about it. Throughout history, it's often been the underdogs, the misfits, the ones nobody believed in, who ended up changing the world. because they had something more powerful than any obstacle. They had faith. They had determination. You have that same potential within you. You have the ability to overcome, to achieve, to make a difference. But it starts with believing. Believing yourself, believing in your purpose, and believing that God will make a way. Action? Faith without works is dead. It's not enough to just believe. We've got to put our beliefs into action. If you want to see change in your life, you've got to be willing to change. If you want to see doors open, you've got to be willing to knock on some doors. God will make a way, but he's not going to do all the work for you. You've got to meet him halfway. You've got to be willing to take risks, to step out in faith, to do the hard work. But here's the good news. When you do, you'll find strength you never knew you had. The story of David and Goliath. David didn't defeat Goliath by sitting around and waiting for a miracle. He stepped up to the challenge. He used the skills he had, his sling and his faith, and he faced his giant head on. And you know what? He won. You've got giants in your life too. We all do. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's a difficult situation that seems impossible to overcome. But remember this, the God who made a way for David is the same God who will make a way for you. Perspective. How we see our challenges makes a huge difference in how we handle them. Are you looking at your problems, or are you looking through them to the possibilities on the other side? Are you focusing on what you lack, or are you grateful for what you have? Gratitude is a game changer. It shifts our focus from what's wrong to what's right. It opens our eyes to the blessings we might be overlooking. And here's the amazing thing. The more grateful we are, the more we find to be grateful for. It's like tuning into a frequency of abundance. God's way often involves changing us from the inside out. It's not just about changing our circumstances. It's about changing our hearts, our minds, our attitudes. Because when we change on the inside, our outside world starts to change too. You've got to guard your mind. What are you feeding it? Are you filling it with negativity, with doubt, with fear? Or are you nourishing it with positivity, with faith, with hope? Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. So plant good seeds. Here's a powerful exercise. Start each day by declaring positive truths over your life. Speak life into your situations. Say things like, God is making a way for me. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle. I am growing stronger every day. Your words have power. Use them wisely. Community, we weren't meant to walk this journey alone. God often makes a way through other people. So don't isolate yourself. Reach out. Build relationships. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who challenge you to grow. And while you're at it, be that person for someone else. Sometimes the best way to get out of our own problems is to help someone else with theirs. When we serve others, we often find that God is serving us too, opening doors we never even knew existed. Remember, your story isn't just about you. Your triumph over adversity can be an inspiration to others. Your perseverance in the face of challenges can give hope to someone who's ready to give up. Your life has a ripple effect, touching people in ways you might never even realize. So don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't let temporary setbacks derail your permanent progress. Keep pushing forward. Keep believing. Keep growing. Because God is making a way for you, even when you can't see it yet. A time in your past when you faced a seemingly impossible situation, you got through it, didn't you? You're here now reading these words. That's proof that you can overcome. That's evidence that God makes a way. Now I want you to do something. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Now picture your life 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What do you see? What kind of person have you become? What have you achieved? Hold on to that vision. Let it inspire you. Let it motivate you. That future isn't just a dream. It's a possibility. And with God making a way, with your faith, and with your effort, it can become your reality. But you've got to believe it. You've got to work for it. You've got to align your actions with your aspirations. Life is too short to live small. It's too precious to waste on doubt and fear. You were created for greatness. You were designed for purpose. You were made to overcome, to achieve, to make a difference in this world. So step out in faith, take risks, dream big, work hard. Love deeply, forgive freely, serve others. And through it all, remember this truth. God will make a way for you. Not might, not could, but will. It's a promise you can count on. Your past doesn't define you. Your current circumstances don't limit you. Your future is wide open, full of possibilities. And with every step you take in faith, you're moving closer to that bright future. Sometimes we get caught up in trying to figure everything out. We want to know how things are going to work out before we make a move. But that's not how faith works. Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase. It's trusting that the path will appear beneath your feet as you walk. God's way often involves surprises, pleasant surprises, unexpected opportunities, chance encounters that turn into life-changing relationships, seemingly random events that end up being pivotal moments in your journey. So stay open, stay flexible, be ready for the unexpected. And while you're waiting for God to make a way, make sure you're making the most of where you are right now. Bloom where you're planted. Give your best effort in your current situation, because how you handle today will greatly influence your tomorrow. Remember, success is not about never falling down. It's about getting up every time you fall. It's about learning from your mistakes, growing from your failures, and keeping your eyes fixed on your goals. It's about perseverance, about grit, about refusing to give up no matter how many times life knocks you down. You've got that kind of strength within you. You've got that kind of resilience. You've got that kind of determination. It might be buried under layers of doubt and fear, but it's there. And with God's help, you can tap into it. The challenges you're facing right now, they seem big, don't they? But you know what? You're bigger. With God on your side, you're bigger than any problem, any setback, any obstacle. Those challenges are not there to break you. They're there to make you. Patience again. We live in an instant world, but some of the best things in life take time. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Keep putting in the work. Keep believing. Keep moving forward. Your breakthrough might be just around the corner. And while you're waiting, while you're working, while you're growing, make sure you're enjoying the journey. Life isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about savoring every step along the way. Find joy in the little things. Celebrate small victories. Practice gratitude daily. Sometimes we get so focused on what we want that we forget to appreciate what we have. But gratitude is a powerful force. It can turn what we have into enough. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Cultivate gratitude and watch how it transforms your life. God's way often involves using our struggles to shape our character. Think about it. The most inspiring people, the ones who've made the biggest impact on the world, aren't those who've had easy lives. They're the ones who faced adversity and overcome it. They're the ones who've turned their pain into purpose, their struggles into strengths. You can be one of those people. Your challenges, your setbacks, your failures, they're not the end of your story. They're just the beginning. They're the raw material from which you can build a life of meaning, purpose, and impact. So don't shy away from the hard times. Don't run from the challenges. Face them head on, knowing that God is with you, making a way where there seems to be no way. Trust that He's working all things together for your good, even when you can't see it or feel it. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Reach out to others. Share your struggles. Ask for help when you need it. There's no shame in admitting you can't do it all on your own. In fact, that's often when God shows up in the most powerful ways. When we humble ourselves and admit our need for Him and for others. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Your life is a story in progress. It's not finished yet. The challenges you're facing now, they're just plot twists. The setbacks you've experienced, they're just character development. The best chapters are yet to come. God is the author of your story, and He's not finished writing it yet. He's making a way for you, opening doors you never even knew existed, creating opportunities you couldn't have imagined. Your job is to keep turning the pages, to keep moving forward, to keep believing, even when it's hard. So stand tall, hold your head high, walk with confidence. Not because everything is perfect, but because you know who's on your side. You know who's making a way for you. You know that your best days are still ahead. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. You are more loved than you can imagine. And with God making a way for you, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So go out there and live with purpose. Face your fears. Chase your dreams, love deeply, forgive freely, serve others, make a difference. Because that's what you were created for. That's the life God is making a way for you to live. Remember, every day is a new opportunity. Every morning is a fresh start. Every moment is a chance to take a step in the right direction. So make the most of it. Embrace the journey. Trust the process. And never ever give up. God is making a way for you right now, in this very moment. Can you feel it? Can you see it? It might not look like what you expected. It might not come when you wanted. But it's there, it's real. And it's leading you to places you've never even dreamed of. So take that first step, and then another, and another. Keep moving forward, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Trust that God is with you, guiding you, strengthening you, making a way for you. Your future is bright. Your potential is limitless. Your best days are still ahead. And with God making a way for you, there's nothing you can't overcome, nothing you can't achieve, nothing you can't become. So go forth with courage. Go forth with faith. Go forth with the unshakable knowledge that God is making a way for you. Your journey awaits. Your destiny calls. It's time to answer. It's time to move. It's time to become all that you were created to be. Because God is making way for you. And that way leads to a life beyond your wildest dreams. A life of purpose, of impact, of fulfillment. A life that reflects the greatness of the one who created you. That life is waiting for you. It's time to claim it. It's time to live it. You stand at the threshold of greatness. The door is open, inviting you to step through. Will you take that step? Will you embrace the journey that awaits you? Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite that fear. And as you move forward, you'll find that fear begins to fade, replaced by a growing confidence in the path God is laying out before you. The heroes of history, the innovators, the game changers, they weren't superhuman. They were ordinary people who dared to believe in extraordinary possibilities. They were folks just like you who decided to trust that God would make a way, even when the odds seemed stacked against them. Now, I want you to do something. Take a moment and look at your hands. Really look at them. Those hands have the power to build, to create, to comfort, to change the world. They're not just any hands. They're your hands uniquely designed for the purpose God has for your life. What will you do with them? How will you use them to make your mark on this world? You see, when we say God is making a way for you, it's not just about opening doors. It's about equipping you with everything you need to walk through those doors. It's about developing the skills, the character, the resilience you'll need for the journey ahead. Sometimes that equipping process can be uncomfortable. It might involve facing your fears, confronting your weaknesses, pushing past your limits. But remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. The most beautiful butterflies emerge from the confines of a cocoon. Your challenges are not punishments. They're opportunities for growth. God's way often leads us out of our comfort zones. It challenges us to dream bigger, to reach higher, to become more than we ever thought possible. It's not always an easy path, but it's always a worthwhile one. Because in that path, you'll discover strengths you never knew you had, talents you never realized you possessed, and a depth of character you never imagined possible. Patience again. In our fast-paced world, we often want instant results, but really lasting change takes time. It's like planting a seed. You don't see results immediately, but beneath the surface, incredible things are happening. Roots are growing, establishing a foundation that will support future growth. Your life is like that seed. Every positive action you take, every step of faith, every moment of perseverance is like water and sunlight to that seed. You might not see results right away, but trust me, growth is happening. And one day, perhaps when you least expect it, you'll break through the surface, ready to blossom in ways you never imagined. Remember, God's timing is perfect. It might not align with our schedules or our plans, but it's always right. So don't get discouraged if things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. Keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep growing. Your breakthrough is coming. Now I want to address something important. Sometimes, when we talk about God making a way, people get the idea that it means sitting back and waiting for miracles to happen. But that's not how it works. God's way often requires our participation. It's a partnership. He provides the opportunities, but we've got to seize them. He gives us the strength, but we've got to use it. Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, God made a way by parting the Red Sea, but the Israelites still had to walk through it. They had to take those steps of faith, trusting that the walls of water wouldn't come crashing down on them. Your life is like that. God will make a way, but you've got to be willing to walk that way. You've got to be willing to take those steps of faith, even when the path seems uncertain. It's something crucial to remember. The way God makes for you might not look like what you expected. It might not align with your plans or your timeline. But trust me, His way is always better than anything we could have imagined for ourselves. Sometimes, what looks like a detour is actually a shortcut to your destiny. Sometimes, what feels like a setback is actually a setup for a comeback. So stay open, stay flexible, trust the process, even when you don't understand it. Vision. What do you see when you look at your life? Are you focused on your current circumstances, or can you see beyond them to the possibilities that lie ahead? Your vision shapes your reality. What you consistently focus on, you move towards. So I challenge you to lift your eyes. Look beyond your current situation. See the potential within you and around you. Envision the life God is calling you to live. See yourself overcoming obstacles, achieving your goals, making a difference in. And once you have that vision, hold on to it. Let it be the fuel that drives you forward when times get tough. Let it be the light that guides you through dark valleys. Because that vision isn't just a figment of your imagination. It's a glimpse of the future God is preparing for you. Remember, you are not defined by your past. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You are defined by who God says you are, and you are limited only by what you're willing to believe and act upon. So believe big, dream big, act big, because you serve a big God who is making a big way for you. Relationships. God often makes a way through people. He brings individuals into our lives who challenge us, encourage us, support us, and sometimes even push us out of our comfort zones. So be open to new connections. Be willing to learn from others, and most importantly, be ready to be a blessing to someone else. Sometimes, the way God makes for us involves us making a way for others. Remember, you're not on this journey alone. You're part of a broader community, a bigger story. Your triumph can be an inspiration to others. Your perseverance can give hope to someone who's ready to give up. Your kindness can be the lifeline someone desperately needs. So as you walk the path God is making for you, look for opportunities to help others along their paths too. Because when we lift others, we often find ourselves being lifted as well. Now, I want to address something that many people struggle with, fear of failure. Here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every innovation came after a series of failures. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of staying in comfort zone while your dreams and potential go unrealized. Because the biggest failure of all is never daring to answer the call God has placed on your life. Remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. Willing to step out in faith. Willing to trust that God will make a way, even when you can't see how. Here's something powerful to remember. Your mistakes don't disqualify you from God's plan. In fact, He often uses our mistakes, our failures, our weaknesses to showcase His power and grace. So don't let past failures hold you back. They're just stepping stones on your path to success. Gratitude again. Gratitude is like a magnet for miracles. When we're grateful for what we have, we open ourselves up to receive even more. It shifts our focus from what's wrong to what's right, from what's missing to what's present. So start each day with gratitude. Thank God for making a way for you, even before you see the results. Thank Him for the strength to face your challenges, for the wisdom to make good decisions, for the love that surrounds you. And don't just feel grateful, express it. Tell the people in your life how much you appreciate them. Acknowledge the blessings, big and small, that come your way each day. Because a heart full of gratitude is a heart ready to receive the abundance God is sending your way. Remember, the way God is making for you is not just about you. It's about the impact you'll have on others. It's about the lives you'll touch, the changes you'll inspire, the difference you'll make in this world. You have a unique set of gifts, talents, and experiences. Nobody else in the world is quite like you. And that's not an accident. You were created for a specific purpose to fill a role that only you can fill. So don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Don't wish for someone else's path. Embrace your own. Trust that God is making a way specifically for you, a way that aligns perfectly with who you are and who you're meant to become. And as you walk that path, remember to celebrate your progress. Don't wait until you've reached your final destination to be happy. Find joy in the journey. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Now I want to talk about persistence. The way God makes for you might not always be smooth or straight. There will be obstacles. There will be setbacks. There will be times when you feel like giving up. But here's the thing, it's a form of faith. It's believing in the promise even when you can't see the fulfillment. It's taking one more step when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It's holding on to hope when everything around you screams despair. And let me tell you, that kind of persistence moves the heart of God. It positions you for breakthroughs. It aligns you with the miracles God wants to perform in your life. So don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't let temporary setbacks derail your permanent progress. Keep pushing forward. Keep believing. Keep growing, because your breakthrough is coming. Remember, the darkest hour is just before dawn. The toughest challenges often come right before the biggest breakthroughs. So if you're facing tough times right now, take heart. It might just mean you're on the verge of something amazing. God is making a way for you right now, in this very moment. It might not look like what you expected. It might not come when you wanted, but it's there. It's real, and it's leading you to places you've never even dreamed of. So take that first step, and then another, and another. Keep moving forward one day at a time, one moment at a time. Trust that God is with you, guiding you, strengthening you, making a way for you. Your future is bright. Your potential is limitless. Your best days are still ahead. And with God making a way for you, there's nothing you can't overcome, nothing you can't achieve, nothing you can't become. So go forth with courage. Go forth with faith. Go forth with the unshakable knowledge that God is making a way for you. Your journey awaits. Your destiny calls. It's time to answer. It's time to move. It's time to become all that you were created to be, because God is making a way for you. And that way leads to a life beyond your wildest dreams. A life of purpose, of impact, of fulfillment. A life that reflects the greatness of the one who created you. That life is waiting for you. It's time to claim it. It's time to live it. Your story is still being written. The best chapters are yet to come. So pick up your pen and write boldly. Dream audaciously. Live authentically, because with God making a way for you, your life can be a masterpiece that inspires generations to come. Remember, you are not just a product of your past. You are a pioneer of your future. The way God is making for you is not just a path to walk. It's a legacy to build. So build it with intention. Build it with passion. Build it with love. And as you build, remember this: every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every fear you conquer becomes a part of your testimony. It becomes a beacon of hope for others who are walking through their own valleys. So embrace your journey with all its ups and downs. Trust the process even when you don't understand it, because God is not just making a way for you. He's making you ready for the way. He's shaping you, molding you, preparing you for the amazing future He has in store. Your life is a miracle in motion. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment is a gift and an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to love, to serve, to make a difference. Don't waste it. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt steal your dreams. Step into the way God is making for you. Embrace it with all your heart. Live it with all your might. Because your best life, your truest self, your highest calling is waiting on the other side of your faith. So let your faith be bigger than your fears. Let your determination be stronger than your doubts. Let your hope be more powerful than your hurts. Because God is making a way for you. And that way leads to a life more beautiful, more impactful, and more fulfilling than anything you could have imagined for yourself. Your time is now. Your moment is here. The way is open before you. Will you take that step? Will you trust that God is making a way for you? The choice is yours, and I believe in you. I believe in the God who is making a way for you. So go forth and live the extraordinary life you were created for. The journey of a lifetime begins now.